The Jaguars seizing an opportunity to talk to assistant coaches from other teams as they try to replace Urban Meyer. The news last night was that the Jaguars are going to keep Trent Baalke around as the GM. He'll report directly to owner Shad Khan. The head coach, whoever it is, will report separately and directly to Shad Khan. 6 coordinators have been they've at least requested permission to speak to him. It doesn't mean they're going to do it. They can say no. But Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles of the Buccaneers, Dan Quinn and Kellen Moore of the Cowboys, Matt Eberflus, the Colts defensive coordinator, and Nathaniel Hackett, the Packers offensive coordinator. Those are the ones. Also, Doug Peterson is a guy drawing interest, the former Eagles coach. Over the weekend, there was a suggestion that Jim Caldwell, former coach of the Lions and Colts, also would be on that interview list. His name has not come up yet. But the Jaguars taking advantage of the head start, casting a wide net. But at the end of the day, Charean, we talked about this earlier today on PFT Live, whoever takes that job is going to have to accept the fact that Trent Baalke is the GM. And there may be some guys that don't want to work with Trent Baalke. There may be. It happens. They may want to bring in their own guy. They may want to be in charge of personnel. And you could argue it would be better for the Jaguars to just start from scratch and hire a new GM. But, if you're going to hire a GM and then your coach, the GM is always going to be the one who picks the coach. And in this case, it's going to be, I think, a combination of the GM and Shad Khan who picked the coach. And it's good to have somebody other than Shad Khan involved because to the extent he's been making big decisions over the last 10 years, haven't always gone so well. So this is a huge moment for the franchise. They need someone who's going to come in and develop Trevor Lawrence. And Trevor Lawrence has said he wants to be involved. I'd want to be involved if I were Trevor Lawrence because his career is hinging in many respects on whether or not he gets someone in there who can develop him as a quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, Nathaniel Hackett is the most interesting name on that list when you talk about things that have gone wrong for the Jaguars. I mean, he was there as quarterback coach and then offensive coordinator from 2015 to 2018, and Doug Marrone booted him. He was the scapegoat there. So I'll be interested to see if he even wants to interview with the Jaguars. I certainly would do the interview, but I'm not certain that I would take that job if I were anybody who had another opportunity to go elsewhere. I guess it depends on what you think of Trent Baalke and what you think of Trevor Lawrence if you're going to take that job. Can you win? And, of course, Shad Khan, because he has such a big say in the organization. But do you think you can win based on those 3 factors at this moment? And they just look so far behind, Mike. I mean, this is like an every-year occurrence. They need a new quarterback. They need a new coach. They need a new GM. And we just keep going, cycling through because, as someone once said, and it's a great saying, dysfunctional teams do dysfunctional things. I think that might have been you.
No, I stole that from Big Cat. He said that one day on PFT Live on a Friday morning, and I used that all the time. And I'd gotten to the point where I used it so often, I don't credit him every time. And at some point, it will just become mine. But at least for now, I'm still within the statute of limitations where I must periodically credit him before it becomes part of the public domain. Then it's just a saying, right? It's a saying like any other cliche that just pops up. But it's accurate, and the Jaguars are dysfunctional. Yeah. And some would say that this decision, I mean, think about it. Trent Baalke was hired by Dave Caldwell in 2020. So when Caldwell gets fired during the 2020 season, Baalke's the guy who just happens to be in the right place at the right time. Then when Urban Meyer is hired and he needs to hire someone to run personnel, he talked to a few different people and ultimately decided to stick with the guy who was already there. And then Urban Meyer flames out, and Trent Baalke, once again, right place at right time. He was in the right place at the right time when Scott McCloughan left the 49ers more than a decade ago. Yeah. And I'm not saying any of this to demean his work. I'm just pointing out the reality. This guy's been one of the luckiest son of a bitches I've seen in the NFL for the past 20 years. I don't know that I can say that, but I did. He's always in the right spot, and he always has things fall into his lap. And again, you got to do the job or it's not going to happen. And going forward, he's going to be accountable. This is going to be his team. And they need talent. So, but you're right. There may be some folks who have options, and they're going to opt to go somewhere else because they don't want to work with Trent Baalke. I think back to 2010-ish when the Jets really wanted Bill Cowher, 2009, 2010. And was it when they hired Rex Ryan? It may have been when they hired Rex Ryan. They wanted Cowher. Cowher didn't want Mike Tannenbaum there. He wanted to get some of his guys from Pittsburgh, and Woody Johnson wouldn't do it. So no Bill Cowher. And that's what happens. If you're going for a big name, if you're going for a guy who's got juice, if you're going for a guy who's got leverage, he's going to say, I don't want Trent Baalke. And there may be a point in this process where Shad Khan makes a choice. He may have to make a choice. For now, though, the choice is Trent Baalke.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.